Yeah.
You felt you had more to offer, that that you should get out of that, any way possible. What kept you going through those times? Was it faith in yourself?
Yeah, I don't have anything else I can do with my life. This
Process
is
of elimination.
this is what I do, and I think it's things like that that make you stronger as a person. You just you refuse to give in. I mean, that predicament that I was in has killed a lot of artists' careers.
Right.
So many careers.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, at 32, voice problems notwithstanding, that I'm just getting started. And I'm not going away. So I had to make a choice. The best way that I saw to handle that situation was just to try to get those people out of my life as quickly as possible, no matter what that meant doing. So I just had, I spent all of 1991, I spent 10 months on the road doing solo acoustic shows, driving around, America and Europe in a rental car, staying at Motel 6s for $20 a night, with no crew, no one else, just going by myself, playing every night, and really enjoying music because of that. It was very simple. I just show up with a guitar, play for 2 hours, and go to another town. There was no big press hoopla. There was no record being promoted. It was about music, and it was about divorcing myself from all the things that had happened. And I think spending all year doing that, all that time driving in the car and just those hours on the road every day, and a lot of time to think about what to do next. Not to make another quick decision about, well, I get another big record contract, that'll take care of it. They'll take care of me. It's like, no, I have to take care of this. When I get everything cleared out, then I can start over very slowly. And that's what this has been about.
That's amazing. So it was like sort of you're handling the problem philosophically. It's
Yeah.
Look, I can't defend anybody anymore. I just got to go out and do this on my own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to create, and to think about what environment I would like to set up to bring other people in, and that's where Sugar came from.
I see.
You know.
Mark, people put in the situation of having to overcome what you had to overcome may be swayed to give up music because of other personal commitments, like home or taking care of your parents or whatever.
Yeah.
In your case, you weren't burdened by a type of thing like that. You could just basically take off on your own. And,
Yeah. I mean, we have those considerations now with Sugar. I mean, David, our bass player, his wife is pregnant with their third child, and I think the due date is late July, so we have to cut off our touring, at July 4th, and that's 3 weeks before the birth, and we can't plan anything for a good period after that because we just don't know if the baby will be healthy or if there'll be complications. So, I mean, and that's fine.
Did you give that sort of consideration?
Well, we have to. It's either that or there's no band. So, or we would have to replace him, which we don't want to do.
You said it was the bassist, David.
The bassist, yeah.
Yeah, so
and everybody, at the record companies is very understanding. I mean, most of them, a lot of the people have children too. They know. I think, everybody's being very realistic about this. That's the difference this time. With companies, like Reiko and Creation, the main companies, they understand that, and they know that. They've known that since the beginning of the year. So they have 6 months to plan accordingly.
I see.
For the year or so after that we may be taking time off. So it's not like it's a surprise.
Right.
It's just it's a matter of just letting people know.
Yeah, right. The personal events in your life that would sway the schedule like that?
Exhaustion. that would be the only one.
Hardly an event.
Yeah, it's not one to look forward to. Again, I think quality is much more important than quantity as far as the amount of live performances and I think so many people, I think record companies and bands realize that they may only have one good year, or that the band might only have one album in them. I mean, I've been doing this long enough to know that you always have peaks and valleys, and the quicker you go to the top, the harder you fall. I mean, and I'm in no hurry to get to the top, so I think that's one of the big differences between what we do and what a lot of other bands do or are forced into doing.
Mark.
If you have no life outside of touring, you have nothing to write about. So.
Scarlett, I think he's a bit surprised at the commercial success of Copper Blue. He hears it's even available in certain Kmart type stores in the Midwest.
Yeah, exactly.
The reason he's surprised is because the mood is rather somber, dark, if you will.
Whoa. Wait till the next one. No, this is probably the most optimistic record I've ever made. It's, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to attribute the success of this record to. Maybe after years and years of being sort of ahead of what's been going on, maybe time has caught up with me, which is a scary thought.
Makes a great headline, too.
Yeah. Oh dear. I think in America, where we've had a great deal of success, Ryko has been so persistent. They've just not given up for one day on the record, and that's what needs to be done in America. You have to just continually beat people over the head with it because there's so much stuff out there. I think it's been a matter of good planning. The record was finished in April, and it didn't come out until September, and we had a lot of time to plan a strategy to make sure that everything was in place, and everything worked perfectly. Just everything, business-wise, everything was focused. Artistically, I think the record's really pretty optimistic. I think this time with some of the more melodic songs, If I Can't Change Your Mind or Hoover Dam, I think because they were so strong melody-wise and so unencumbered by big distorted guitars, the people were able, it allowed people to get more into the song. Not everything sounded the same. There was a lot of variety on the record. And I think that it expanded the audience somehow. There was other people that came to it that may not get past the wall of noise normally. So.
Yeah, when you were on Warner's or whoever, I don't know what other labels Husker was with, but let's say at the time they had spent the same sort of efforts on Husker Du Stuff as they have on Sugar. Do you think Husker would have sold as well?
No, I think it was I think musically it was too far ahead of its time. I just don't think people were ready for that kind of music yet. It took Husker Du and then Sonic Youth and then Dinosaur Jr. and then Nirvana. Husker Du's main purpose, beyond apparently influencing a handful of bands, we were one of the first ones to start weakening the resistance to that kind of music. And it's taken a number of years for people to accept the fact that you can have big, distorted, difficult sounding guitars and drums really loud, but but with a lot of melody and a lot of intelligent lyrics. That's noise and melody and intelligence is a combination that people just couldn't deal with until 1990. So, yeah, I don't think it would have been any different. Even with that amount of energy.
I see. It's just like the U.S. has done that. Yeah, you can understand what you mean about how the wall of resistance was broken down gradually. Mm-hmm. However, now that we are in 1993, he says rather than listening to Nirvana, he would rather listen to Sugar.
That's
Especially
good.
He likes to listen to it in his car. He says if he put on, Husker Du in his car, he'd go straight into the guardrail.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
But the melodic nature of Sugar Blue Sugar is what makes the record sell.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I think that there seems to be something for everyone on this record. It will be very interesting to see how the band is perceived. Not going away, so I had to make a choice. You know, the best way that I saw to handle that situation was just to try to get those people out of my life as quickly. Yeah.
You felt you had more to offer, that you should get out of that, any way possible. What kept you going through those times? Was it faith in yourself?
Yeah, I don't have anything else I can do with my life.
Process of elimination.
This is what I do as possible, no matter what that meant doing. So I just had, I spent all of 1991. I spent 10 months on the road, doing solo acoustic shows, driving around, America and Europe in a rental, and I think it's things like that that make you stronger as a person. You just, you refuse to give in. I mean, that predicament that I was in has killed a lot of artists' careers.
Right.
So many careers. And I feel like, at 32, voice problems notwithstanding, that I'm just getting started. And I'm